This is Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S. for those who might not be in the U.S. It's a day where we talk about and remember those who gave their all for our country, died in the military and protecting freedom and so forth. And I've been watching more movies all weekend long, of course. And I just watched Pearl Harbor. And that one always moves me because that was really a devastating thing. But I just thought I'd throw some facts out there for people because, if we pay attention to what happened in the past, then we can have a good idea of what current events may be heading for. Like 1938 to 39, before World War II, Hitler decides to extend German power in Europe and takes over Austria and destroys Czechoslovakia. Great Britain and France talk to Hitler, say, okay, you do that, that's fine, you keep that, but don't go any further. Hitler says, no problem, we'll stay here. This is all we want. America, of course, we were reeling from the Great Depression, the stock market crash, massive unemployment. And, our sentiment was, we got our own problems. Then, after all the agreements signed by Hitler stating he won't go anywhere, and a year later, September 39, Germany invades Poland. Well, Britain and France declare war. America goes, it's European, it doesn't matter to us. We got our own problems. So, we stay out of it. Then in 1940, Germany occupies Denmark and Norway. France and Great Britain are full-on war with them. America goes, it's not our war, it's over there. We have our own problems. Then in May of 1940, Germany occupies Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and takes over France. The entire Europe is gone. Europe is now under Hitler. And then America goes, well, that's getting pretty bad. That's not our problem, man. That's their problem. It's across the ocean. We don't care. We're not worrying about it. We got our own problems. It's not America's war. Then in April of 1941, Germany occupies Yugoslavia and Greece. They just keep going. No matter what they say, what they do, they just keep going. And America's going, well, this is getting pretty serious, but it's still not our war. And then what happens in 1941? December 7th, 1941. The Japanese, who are now allied with Germany, as well as Italy, launch a surprise assault on Pearl Harbor over in Hawaii. Wipes us out. Just as totally wipes out our fleets. The Arizona is still a memorial where, like I think over 1,000 soldiers are still entombed in Arizona. They never got out. And that woke us up. In fact, one of the Japanese admiral was quoted as saying, "We have just woken a sleeping giant," and they did. And this is why my grandparents were called the greatest generation, because when Japanese hit us, before they hit us, we were ranked 17th in power, military, in the world. And well, obviously, 4 short years later, we were number 1, and we've never looked back. But you got to think about what's going on today with eyes about with remembering what went on in the past. That's why Memorial Day is so important, because we need to remember our past. And our past was, we had someone who was taking over countries, and okay, flash forward to today, right? Putin, into charge of Russia, in 2016 takes over Crimea. Even prior to that, he had recognized Ukraine's boundaries, international. Says, yeah, we're not interested in him. He takes Crimea, right? Just boom, takes it. I think part of the Donbass too. And then he says, well, that's all we want. And like Germany, or Great Britain and France did to Hitler, the world says, well, if you keep that and don't go any further, fine, you keep it. And then, just like Hitler did, he built up a little bit, boom, launched attack on Ukraine. So we're getting set up just like World War II did with Hitler, except now it's Putin. And America's, a large portion of America is saying, we got our own problems. You know, we got our border to worry about, we got unemployment, well, shouldn't we spend money here? And so we're just kind of piddle farting with aid to Ukraine, you know. In fact, the Republican Party apparently stopped Ukraine aid for a year, caused them massive death and destruction, but they didn't want it, so we didn't do it. And I don't understand that, because that used to be Reagan's party, you know. Gorbachev tear down that wall, and now it's like, do what you want. I don't understand that. But I know it's not all Republicans. Many Republicans are very much for freedom and democracy. Others are not. I don't understand that. But what will it take for us to mobilize to get behind Ukraine, right? I'm not saying boots on the ground. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying let's give them what they need to win, not just to maintain, but to actually kick out Russia. I'm not saying take over Russia or capture anything part of Russia. Just get them out. Make it so costly that Russia just has to pull out, and we can do that. Oh, here's another thing to think about. In 2022, I believe it was, billboards went up across Russia saying how the United States is in illegal possession of Alaska. That that when Russia sold it to us, that was invalid. And so it is still, in fact, Alaska. In fact, there's billboards in Russia right now that say Alaska is ours. And you know, Americans are laughing, saying, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to fight there. Well, everyone said the same thing before he went into Crimea. Everyone said the same thing before he launched the attack that started the current conflict. No, if he thinks Alaska is theirs, then eventually he'll make a play for it. I mean, it's way over there. It's way over there, you know, on the other side of Canada. So he'll make a play for it. And another thing to think about: Alaska is 55 miles from the coast of Russia. 55 miles. That's it. So Russia can get to Alaska faster than we can. If they invade, if you know, so you know, my grandparents' generation, the greatest generation, it was all about Pearl Harbor. Will my children's rally cry be Fairbanks, Juneau? You know? Well, you don't know. So I think we need to pay attention to history, see what's going on today, and see what parallels is going on. I just wanted to point that out because it is Memorial Day. People died for our freedom, and I'd hate for us to lose it. And I think we should stand up against bullies. I think we should fight for those who are weaker than us. And anyone who doesn't want to do that is helping them. You know, anyone who says, well, we shouldn't help Ukraine is helping Russia. It's either one or the other. You can't have both. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Everyone needs to make up their own mind, of course. And I think freedom and democracy is important, and that we should fight for it. And that our people have died for it. And I just want everyone to understand that freedom don't come cheap and it doesn't come easy. And the longer we wait, the harder it is, just like it was in our grandparents' days. So, you all take care. You have a good Memorial Day weekend. And just remember the fallen ones and the sacrifice that they've made. You all take care.